Welcome to the Stellaris show. Give me a second to set a couple things up that I realized I hadn't done yet. Okay. Second here. I gotta save a couple things. Just give me a second here. Why are you being a dick? All right. Sorry about that, guys. Usually I am more formal than this, but I saw something right as I hit the stream button, so I've got to take care of it. So, let's see here. I just got to close out some windows. But anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? As promised, I'm here. It is 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the evening. That is the new time that we're going to roll. I can't be on every single day, but I will try to be on most days whenever I can. This is a tentative time going forward. It's always at most tentative, but I do try to stick to it as much as I can. So I think this might be the best schedule. It's worked pretty well today so far. I hope y'all are doing really good. Hey, Kel Warrior, how's it going? Hey, you made it, man. See, I adjusted the time and you're here, so that's great, man. Light, appreciate your comments, by the way. Yeah. Military time, man. I almost forgot that it existed. Can't believe I forgot. It's been a while. I can't believe it's been that long. 20 years. Wow. I was in the service during 2002 to 2005. I was in the Iraq War. And then after that, I shortly got out afterwards. Yeah, no. There was a time for many years. Well, I think even for a year or two after I left the Army, I was still going off military time. You know, it varies from soldier to from veteran to veteran. You know how soon they let go of the old habits, but some of them don't ever let go of the old habits. My dad, for example, he's retired Army. Never, some of that has never left him, and it never will. You know, especially the mentality. But anyway, so we're doing a trait tier list tonight, guys. Now, some of you may have noticed that I uploaded. Yeah, I broke my procrastination using the format that I told you guys I was going to use. I don't think it's amazing. But I was just, think of it as a test. I was testing. And so far the testing's pretty good. I think I can take what I did today. I was really tired or else I would have worked on it more, guys. So I apologize if that's not up to your standards. But it's going to get better, trust me. I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to be able to, you know, as things become routine, you know, I'll work on the quality, but right now I just wanted to get my foot in the door and break that ice. You know, it's really that procrastination, that ice, that really kills people when it comes to progress, myself included. You know, you can't hesitate at the door when you're jumping out of an airplane, so I try not to do that. In fact, honestly, if I were to give a biggest, talking about old habits, the greatest habit I think I've ever got from my military experience being a paratrooper is I do not hesitate when it comes to doing very scary things. No matter how much fear I have. I know how to make myself do it. Because it's no different than being in front of that door. Than exiting the door. It's no different. Any paratrooper will tell you that. Anybody who's halo jumped, it's no different. It's the same feeling I get when I approach someone new, you know, or when I hit the upload button. Especially that apology. Oh boy, did I have to exit the door on that apology video. Oh my God, did I have to do that. My body was just like at the door, my body was screaming at me. No. Yeah, so, but anyway. off topic. So we're doing a tier list. Let me make sure I got my my windows correct. Okay. Ah, good. Okay, good. It's set to the right thing. Excellent. Okay, so we're all set up. So if any of you watched my latest release this morning, you know why I do Microsoft Word instead of that traditional fancy tier list that the YouTubers do. Fuck that. I'm not paying for that. I'm not subscribing for it, and I'm not making an account. No. All right. So anyway, I hope some of you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I know I can be a bit of a jerk sometimes, but I think I kind of wanted you guys to laugh because it was the first thing that showed up. Yeah, it was the first thing that showed up on my stream. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll make it into a video. Why not? You know? That way I can get the good content to you guys. It's basically, I'm going to use my videos and shorts to get the good content that happens in my streams that nobody watches to them. You know? Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm glad you liked it. Hey, if it's a stinker, let me know. If you're like, dude, that was fucking weird. You need to tune that up. Please tell me. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it. Don't really have any announcements other than what I've already posted about. You know, there's a new release. Go ahead and watch it. It's not technically Stellaris related, but it was cut from my Stellaris stream. And, you know, talking about how paying a subscription to a badly, poor graphic design, okay, is ridiculous and stupid. So, stupid as hell, to quote myself. All right. So we're going to go to traits. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. Because I don't know if I can see everything or not. Now, there's going to be traits that I don't have. Now, does it list everything in gray? Or is it just things that I can possibly do? I think it lists everything in gray is what you could have if you set up your government and ethics correctly. So I'm going to assume that. It also requires the following species, for example, plantoid, fungoid. Okay. So, if it is clear, I've already went over in my origins list pretty much. Honestly, that's why I haven't covered it since then. But there are DLC that I'm missing. Okay. That's why I don't, anything that's F tier, it doesn't mean that it's terrible. It just means that at least for me and the state of the game that I currently have, it is extremely niche. It is not really, it's usually not desirable, except for maybe 1 or 2 builds tops where it might be pickable. You know, it's still pickable, but it's really, you really got to drill down to use it. You know what I mean? And even then it might not be the best thing. So most origins, most stuff in Stellaris can fit into the right build, can be used in the right build. But the ones that really there is 0 point in using it, that goes in what I call the derp tier, which is just completely dumb, no redeeming qualities for that at all. There's 0 reason to pick it, no matter what build you're using. So, in my opinion, right? Again, this is a subjective tier list also. So keep that in mind. All right? My opinion may not be yours, obviously. I'm not you, you're not me. I do think that I do, as a Stellaris YouTuber that has had, that has thousands of subscribers, I think if people disagreed with me, they wouldn't be subscribed. So I'm not saying they agree with everything I say, but I think they agree with quite a bit of it. Some of the things I say. And I think that's balanced, right? I do want to keep my humility as best I can. I screw up, I make mistakes. And yeah, again, if you disagree, If you respectfully disagree, be respectful, of course, terms of service. But as long as you do that, leave a comment. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why. Like, give me some, if you want to give me constructive criticism, go right ahead. Say, hey man, you're missing this or whatever. I want that data. I might not use it, but I might. There have been times on this channel where people have called me out in comments and I have said, you know what, you're right. My bad. You know, or you're right, that is a valid strategy. Or they brought something to my attention I didn't realize. So if you've got anything like that, go right ahead, man. I ain't so full of ego and pride that I'm gonna get so butthurt that I'll never censor anyone unless, like I said, they're, you know, being disrespectful, especially to veterans. I've already stated that, or, you know, or they're violating terms of service. I can't help you if you're violating terms of service. I have to get rid of you. It's part of my terms of service to get rid of you. That's the problem. Even if I don't want to do it, you know. So, anyway, so we'll start with agrarian. You know, this is probably going to be C tier. There really isn't a lot of reason to pick this over, say, ingenious or industrious or intelligent or thrifty in some cases. So agrarian's definitely going to be C tier. Let me go ahead and put that down. So yeah, C tier. That's going to be. And we'll go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so there it is. Now, the cool thing is about these tier list streams, I can do a lot of funny stuff in the editor to make it look better. Like I could actually just put the letter on the screen and show you guys what letter I gave it, you know, what ranking I gave it. Okay. So there's cool things I can do after the fact, post-processing. So stay tuned for those videos as they get released. All right, so agrarian, it's C tier. Like, I mean, there are some builds that it may work in, and it is a pretty good gain for that resource. Just the problem is it's food, obviously. Food is the most useless resource. Like useless, like useful. It's not useful. It's required to live. You can't have an empire without it, but really, when you can take ingenious, there's so many better things that you could take, I think. Unless you're doing a specific strategy, like, I don't know, something with Agrarian Isle in it, but we kind of agreed that that was kind of a stinker. But anyway, so ingenious. This is straight A tier. I'm not going to say S because of the fact that, you know, this is just your basic thing. It's still pretty basic. And it's only a 2-pointer. So, but it is, I mean, you cannot go wrong with this. Every single build, just about every single empire that you could build requires energy credits to function. Even hive mind, no matter what you're picking. So you can't ever go wrong with this. It's a 15% gain. Okay. You can't go wrong with this. So we'll go ahead and put that in the oh, I should show you guys, my bad. See, this is why I don't like switching back and forth. I was gonna do the tier list at the very end, because you guys don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. Okay, so we got ingenious here. Sadly, guys, I don't really know how to zoom in with OBS. So until I figure it out, you're kind of limited to this, you know, this image here, image size here. So, but we'll deal with it. Okay, so yeah. So for ingenious, that's an obvious A tier choice. Is it the best? No, but really, you cannot go wrong with it. And it's you know, energy credit gain is really good. I probably still built that wrong. I don't care. Okay, so right here, ingenious. So let's go back to the Stellaris. Okay, so we have industrious, same thing, A tier. In fact, industrious and intelligent, they're all going in the A tier. Thrifty's going to go in B tier because it's really good if you're playing trade. So that obviously you want thrifty if you're trading. Industrious, intelligent, yeah. So we'll just go ahead and throw that there. Yeah. So, you know, industrious is really good if you're Hive. That's kind of a must if you're Hive and you don't have the special trait that switches between these three, or whatever job you're doing. That's actually S tier. I'm gonna put that S tier actually when I get to it. If I get to it, I might not be able to. It might not show it to me for some reason. So we might have to do traits that you can pick at the beginning of the game, and then traits that you can pick, you know, afterwards. Like we could call them advanced traits. So traits that you get from like ascension perks, or from you know, ascension, either genetic, synthetic, or cybernetic. You know, those ascension paths. That's right. So we might have to do the ascension paths separate, and I might have to do. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. It may be a while before I get around to that list, but this right here, we could call it starting. We could call it basic traits. You know, starting traits. Starting traits, I think, is more accurate. All right, and B is gonna be thrifty, because it is niche, but it's a good niche. It's an effective niche, and so that's where B tier goes. Let's see. All right, so let's go back to. Okay. Now, I plan on having this be a little bit of a shorter stream today, guys. I've just been go for the past few hours, or past several hours, and I've got some other things I need to do. I almost canceled this stream too, but I was like, nah, dude, I canceled 2 times in a row. I need to be on. You know, I think it's appropriate for me to be on. So now we're gonna get back to. Okay, so we got natural engineers. All right, so all of these, all of these, all the science ones except for engineers is going to be C tier, because why would you pick one of these when you can pick intelligent? So if you had to spend a point, maybe you already got intelligent, and you have enough points for another one of these. You know, that's a possibility as well. But then again, why would you pick physics or sociology or society when you could pick engineering, which is the most valuable out of the 3 on average? Now, this is on average. Obviously, there might be some builds where you want to pick society or you want to pick physicists. That's why they're C tier. Okay, because they're niche, but they're still useful in some situations. That's what C tier is. Doesn't mean it's bad, you know. So yeah, we'll do that real quick. So we got. I think it's natural and here's okay. We have, and there might be biopops and then machine and then high, but we'll check it out. I don't think so though. Okay, natural engineers. God damn it. What does it say? I wish it would not black out my Stellaris screen when I go over to. Oh yeah, it. I wonder if I wonder if I can move this. I'd like to move this. Come on, you. Stop being a jerk. Come on. Okay, so. Wow. Do that too, okay. So let's view, focus. Okay. So that actually works better, I think. So we'll do this. Yes. There we go. Natural physicists. Okay. And okay, extremely adaptive. I really like this one. The problem is it's 4 points. It's almost impossible to take this and have a viable species built. It really is. Like, it's really hard to take this because if you take this, you're not picking anything else. And it's not powerful enough to forego sacrificing the other more required traits like ingenious or industrious, you know, one of these, and maybe or tech. It's just not powerful enough to justify how many points you have to put into it. So extremely adaptive is probably going to go in C tier. I still really like it. So many times I've wanted to use it. I've been this close to using it sometimes, but it's just too expensive. It really is. It's just too expensive to be optimal, I think, really. But of course, just like any C tier in the right build, it could be extremely powerful. So adaptive is B tier. That is something that could be worth picking. Okay, that's something. So yeah, hold on. Got to bring it up to here. Okay. So yeah, so we went over extremely adaptive and adaptive. Okay. No worries, do like 45, 60 minutes. Yeah, I'll do it as soon as this is done. That's where we're kind of rapid firing through them. So we'll do negative traits last. Actually, we're not going to cover negative traits at all. Well, nah. I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. So why would I add negative traits to this list? Well, some negative traits are better than others. And you do want to pick a negative trait usually. Usually do not have enough trait points to really min-max your species without picking one of these. No, so yeah, we could actually do that. So non-adaptive. Oh, this one's terrible. I would never pick this. This is honestly... There's going to be some builds that this could work in that basically habitability doesn't matter. I'm sure there's some builds out there where habitability doesn't matter, but most builds it does. So this is going straight F tier. I almost want to make it derp tier, but I know that there's probably those onesies or twosies out there that could plug that would be fine with this. So F tier, non-adaptive. Okay, so You know, the negative traits, they're kind of inverted, right? I mean, literally, because things that like, so the stuff you don't care about is the stuff you want to pick. You know what I mean? This basically, when it comes to traits, negative traits, you want negative traits that don't give you any consequences, not really, you know, to your build. Rapid breeders, that is A tier. Yo, this is like fit that in whenever you possibly can. It's really good. So rapid breeders, I really like that one. So we'll go with, let's see, rapid breeders. Yeah. A lot of people, that's a popular pick too. I mean, anything that increases pop growth is going to be powerful, at least to some degree. So, dude, why won't it let me touch the toolbar? Ugh. Okay. So, go ahead and switch. All right. So now we're looking at slow breeders. Okay, pop growth speed, straight F tier. This is really bad. There's almost always a better negative trait you could pick than this one, just like non-adaptive. Honestly, I can't really think of many situations where you would ever want to take this, but there might be. So I will stick in the F tier as much as I want to put it in the stinker tier or the derp tier. Or the other S tier, right? The stinker tier. Okay. Slow breeders, very bad. Not worth it. Yeah, just not. I mean, very bad in most situations. Some situations might be good, but generally want to avoid taking that. So, yeah. So anyway, there it is. So let's see. Talented. All right. Now, if you're, this is gonna be in the C tier, because if you are playing a build that's centered around leaders, you may want to take this. Experience gain or leader upkeep. The problem is the bonuses associated with leaders here really aren't the most powerful. That's why it's C tier and not B tier, because it's very niche, and also you may have better things to pick, like quick learners, for example. That's way more powerful. The experience gain is way more powerful than you know, maximum negative traits and leader upkeep, because you get to a point pretty quickly in the game where the leader upkeep doesn't fucking matter. So let's see. So talented is C tier. Quick learners is gonna be B tier for sure. So let me wow. Okay, so quick learners. Okay. Now we got slow learners. Okay, this is B tier as well, because if you don't give a fuck about leaders, if your build doesn't give a damn about leaders, well, then slow learners is an easy throwaway. You know, is if it doesn't matter to you. Also, it actually can help at the beginning of the game, because it can slow down your leaders leveling up. Now, like, say, why would you want to do that? Well, being out of Unity in the beginning of the game, especially when you want to have a lot of scientists, kind of sucks. So that's been my experience anyway. So we'll put slow learners here as well. All right, so so next we have I'm going to do 3 at a time, I think. So we're going to have traditional, quarrelsome, and docile. So traditional is B tier, okay? You usually end up picking the other resources first, but if you don't have anything else to put, it's a great secondary or third option. So yeah, so traditional is B tier. Quarrelsome is F tier. There's no good reason to take this when there are so many other non-consequential negatives that you can pick. Yeah, as a negative, it's pretty bad. I don't think this is possibly as bad as habitability or pop growth, but it's pretty up there. It's pretty close. So this is straight F tier. Docile. Now, docile's good. I'll put that in the B tier as well. If you just want as much empire size reduction as possible for your build, then knock yourself out. It's decent. But it does cost 2 points, so be aware of that. And you won't be able to pick up the resources. So it is kind of a trade-off, or you may not be able to. So traditional, quarrelsome, and docile. We'll go ahead and set those. And F tier. Yeah, I find it very hard why you want to give yourself a minus 10% unity bonus or unity deficit. Okay, and docile. Docile is also B tier. Okay. Just because of how powerful it is. It potentially powerful. But usually you pick something else instead, like the resources, like something in A tier or S tier. Okay. So unruly, this is C tier. I have picked this for some of my builds, but only on rare occasions. So it's more like the reason it's good is because out of the -2 pointers, it is actually pretty decent. Like for how many extra points how many points it gives you. Okay, that's its strength. Because there's only so many 2-pointers, and most of them are pretty gnarly and unacceptable. But unruly, you can get around it if you really need those traits. So yeah, in some situations it's actually okay. So we'll go ahead and so yeah, we got where is it? So we got unruly. So that's going to be C tier. Very strong. That is going to be C tier as well because of how expensive it is. It's just too expensive. Strong is also C tier. Usually you don't want to waste your point. You wouldn't want to waste your traits on armies. But, whatever. So all this is going in the C tier. Very strong. I can already see kind of a problem with Stellaris when it comes to traits. Most of them quite a bit of them are in the C tier. That's not good. They should be more useful. But anyway, I think the problem is that the A tier is just they're must picks. Like you pick them every time if you're not doing something special. So weak. This is bad. I mean, well, it's not so much the army damage. Yeah, that's bad. But what's really bad is the resource output. That's not very good. I think we're gonna put this in F tier, but it's high F. I almost want to put it in C tier, but really I've never taken this. I've never had any reason to. So yeah, we'll just, the The production deficit isn't really worth it. So when you can pick other things. So we'll go with weak and then nomadic. Nomadic, yeah, this is C tier. Nomadic. All right, C tier. And then we got so sedentary, I think, is really good. That's actually kind of A tier, actually. Because there's been very few times where I've ever noticed that, to be honest. I've never. Yeah, the resettlement cost, you're not even going to notice that. The pop growth from immigration, I've never noticed that my entire time playing. I don't always pick sedentary either. I've never. It's not something I've never noticed. So I've never been disappointed picking it. All right. So to recap, let's go ahead and hold on. I'm juggling windows. It's annoying. Okay, so let me see if I can have to fucking be full screen. I guess it does. All right, so we got unbelievable. All right, hold on. This, wow. I gotta get a new computer, guys. Really do. I gotta get a new computer. Okay. So yeah, nomadic, C tier, sedentary, A tier, and now communal. Okay. Go ahead and so let's look at communal. Pop housing usage, minus 10%. You are not going to notice that. This is F tier. This is a waste of a point. It really is. It's a clear waste of a point. I have never had played one game where I was like, oh man, I need to up my pop housing usage. Never. It's never happened. This is an invisible bonus as far as I'm concerned. You know what? Maybe I should do a tier list for bonuses. You know, bonus types. This would be F tier for sure, or derp tier actually. But anyway, very, very hard to think of any build I could possibly imagine that might want this over something else. So communal is F tier. And guys, I'm gonna look at the tier list after we I'll look at the tier list every so often, but I'm not gonna like constantly go for it, or I'm not gonna constantly switch to it. Okay, so we're gonna do so solitary. Solitary is another A tier, okay? Because again, this is invisible. This is an invisible bonus. So this is an invisible negative trait. You don't even notice it most of the time. So yeah, this is definitely, honestly, I think this is S tier. You know what? I'm going to give it S tier. I never thought I would give a negative trait S tier, but here I am. It takes me a little bit to figure things out, guys, as you know. I have ADHD, you know, the totally fucked disorder that I wish every day I didn't have. That's the truth, guys. Is you know, as mentally strong as I like to be, as stoic as I would like to be, there isn't a day goes by that I wish that I'm glad that I had ADD. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever be grateful for it. I mean, it is what it is. Like I enjoy life in spite of it. You know, that's kind of the best I can do, really. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. I'm not gonna say never, but yeah, I don't appreciate my ADD. I've never appreciated it. I think it's about as useful to me as, you know, make an analogy that won't get me demonetized. It's about as useless to me as snow in the Philippines. How about that? Because if I wanted snow, I'd be somewhere else. Let's see, amenities, charismatic. So 2. Yeah, that's probably a bad analogy anyway. So charismatic. Now, my gut reaction is not stinker, but F tier. But really, I could see a couple situations where you'd want this, because you do run into amenities problems during the game, and especially if you don't want to do holo theaters, this might be an option. But the points are steep, so it's never going to go above C tier. So we'll go ahead and do that. So that's C tier. Okay. All right, repugnant. This is bad. This is F tier. You don't want this either. I mean, I already hate it that I have to have holo theaters for every fucking planet, or every planet. Imagine with this, it would be even worse. So now it does give you -2. Now, the other value of this, and I actually might, nah, it'll still be F tier, because F tier doesn't necessarily mean bad, it just means extremely niche. The extremely niche use for this is roleplay purposes. Because obviously there's some roleplay species that you can roleplay as that are supposed to be repugnant, right? That's part of their lore, right? So for example, like orcs, yeah, those are repugnant for sure. That fits, right? So, but anyway, so we'll have this in the F tier, but F tier, you know, with the understanding that it's not terrible. It's just it's really hard to want to pick that in most situations, other than for RP purposes. RP is really the only thing that, and RP and it's the amount of points it gives you is the only thing that saves it from being in the derp tier, to be honest. That's really kind of the thing. So conformist, this is oh wow, this is okay. I want to put this as derp because this is an invisible bonus to me, and it costs 2 points. However, I know some people out there, they play builds where they do, so you know, they do shenanigans with governing ethics attraction. I don't understand it myself, but like I said, out of respect for those people, I'm going to put this in the F tier, not the derp tier, as much as I want to. I have never had one game where factions have made any kind of impact on whether or not I won or lost. Not really. Like, you know, factions, they give you unity, but there are so many other better ways, I think, that you can get unity or build around it. So we'll have conformist in the F tier. Okay. Now, I think the opposite is true of deviance. This is an invisible negative trait, so this is going pretty much in the S tier. If you need, now it would definitely be even higher S tier if it had more points, but it's not gonna. So, yeah. So -1 is decent. Yeah. So deviance. In fact, honestly, if I were to run statistics on how often I pick what negative traits I pick the most often, it would most likely be solitary and deviance. That's why I'm putting them in S tier. Most of my games I pick those. Most of my games I pick those. Venerable, okay? So venerable is it is I gotta say it's F. I want to say C. I mean, 80 years is powerful, but dude, 4 points? Really? 4 points? If you're gonna, I mean, I don't even get immortal for 4 points. Why would I pick this? It's just, it's not tenable. You know, it's not. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I've always ignored the factions too. Sorry, guys, I didn't get a chance to check my chat till now. Yeah, I mean, where I'll be with 4.0 and no pops. It's not that they're going to take the pops away, Celt Warrior. They're going to just kind of fractionate them. I don't know. They're doing something weird. Something I don't care about, but I mean, yeah, communal is Soviet. So yeah, I guess communal has some RP purpose to it, but like I said, that's why I'm gonna put you know, F and not derp. Let's see. So venerable, yeah, venerable, there is no justifying spending that many points on leader lifespan as or even if it's immortal. I don't think it's worth it. Now mortal is a little higher. I would put that at C tier, but man, this is going to be F. It's not even as powerful as immortal. The leader's still mortal. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cut and dried. So venerable is it's not derp. It's definitely, you know, if you're playing a biological empire, right, not machine, and you know, you need your leaders not to die, and this is the best way to do it, and that's more important than anything else. Like I said, that's what F tier exists for, is that like 1 or 2 builds that might work in, or might be best in slot for. But see, that's the other thing about F tier, is that oftentimes, you know, the person who made the build thinks that it's S tier, or it thinks that it's the best thing they can pick, when there might be something better, you know, for all they know. So but yeah, venerable is F tier. So fleet or enduring. So enduring is decent. You know, I like leader lifespan because I hate my leaders dying on me, and the less often they do it, and I have that headache, the better. So I mean, this isn't a bad, I put this in you know, I think there are better things that you must pick, so because of that, it's probably going to go in C, but it's definitely better than venerable for sure. I definitely could see the use in it, and I have considered picking it sometimes. So let's see, enduring, fleeting, that I want to say derp tier, but nah, it you know what, this can be C tier. There could be some exploits and I'm gonna say, when I say shenanigans, I mean exploits and gimmicks. So there's probably some shenanigans you could do with fleeting, making your leaders die quicker. You know, there might be something you could do with that. And also, out of the negative traits, it's definitely not the worst. I mean, it's just more, it's the most annoying out of all the negative traits, I think, because your leaders are going to die quicker, and that's a real pain in the butt. That's real annoying. But you can manage, right? If you just agree going in that, okay, I'm going to have to deal with this, and you accept that, you could get a free point and work around it. So it is, you can work around it. Unlike, you know, minus temporary, unlike low habitability and low pop growth, you can't, it's really hard to work around that. So fleeting is going to be, it's going to be C tier also, just for its shenanigans potential. But I want my leaders, I want to avoid my leaders dying all the time, like the plague. Decadent. Okay. So decadent, I think I want to say B tier, okay? I don't think it's without consequences the way solitary and deviants are without consequences, or sedentary, but it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not a bad pick. As long as you don't have a lot of happiness issues, it's especially good in like machine empires and hive empires if they have it, because their happiness works way different than a biological empire's. It is way easier to fix happiness. There really isn't any happiness, not really, when you're dealing with Gestalt. So we'll put Decadent in the B tier. And obviously there's ways to raise their happiness, amenities, all that stuff. Resilient, that is honestly, I think, no, I can't put it in derp. I want to, but nah. Resilient, you know, I almost can't put it in F either. Well, okay, I'm gonna put it in F, but here's why. Because defense is a losing strategy in Stellaris right now. Right now, okay? Now, if say defense was good again, this might be useful. This might be extremely useful. And very powerful in the right build. Especially if you're, got reanimators, right? So, yeah, so this could have a decent use, but like I said, defense is a losing strategy. You don't want your build to be surrounded around defense. It's just not viable right now. Unless you're using mods or something. But I can't help you if you're using mods. I don't use mods. So okay, so let me go ahead and check the chat real quick here. I can only check the chat so often because I have to tab out and shit. I'm juggling these windows and it's annoying. So I'm trying to just limit that annoyance as much as possible. Okay, so we have Decadent, Resilient. Okay. Conservationalist. I have taken this before. I have taken this quite a bit from time to time. And so it is a B tier. Pop goods or consumer goods is a pain in the butt to deal with. It is the most annoying resource in the game, in my opinion. Not even food's worse. Yeah, it's my least favorite out of all the resources in the game. Consumer goods. I think basically you're cutting your alloys in half, and yeah, it's just all around bad. Compared to Gestalt, Hive, Machine, consumer goods are so inferior. They really are. They're a pain in the butt. So any amount of reducing that can be a really good thing. And I have noticed it also before when I've used it. So, but is it the best thing to pick? Of course not. There are better things you can pick or should pick if you want to min-max. But sometimes I pick this just because I don't want to fucking deal with it. Just because I don't want to I want to deal with consumer goods as little as possible. And there's also some builds that use a lot of consumer goods, which is a real pain in the butt too. So wasteful, that is F. Why on earth would you want something that will be a problem your entire game to get even worse? Yeah, I don't really see any reason for that when you can pick so many other things. But there might be a build or two out there that'll make it work. Let's see. Existential heteropathy. Pop growth during war and crisis. I'll give this a C tier. It costing 2. Pop growth's really good. I will definitely have more of a chance to use this than the next one I'll be using or I'll be looking at. So, but it's going to be C tier because there's usually better stuff to pick. There, and it for the price that it costs, there's better stuff to pick. Ah, fucking weird big word I have to spell. Okay, so psychological infertility is terrible. Okay. I'm gonna put it as C because of the points. All right, you may not feel this, or you may not feel this enough to you know, the bad bonus makes up for the fact, or the points that you get might make up for the bad bonus. You might be able to get around the bad bonus. And obviously, if you're playing a pacifist empire, you know, that's an easy one. That's an easy pick as well. So it does have its uses. I think I am going to keep it in C tier, even though I don't like it. It is far less useful to me than I think it is to other people. But I actually have picked it a couple times, I think. I might have. Okay, so... Alright, so... Let's see, Jinxed. Leader, maximum negative traits. I want to say I don't notice this, but I think I have a couple times. So, we'll put this in the C tier also. There's some pretty gnarly negative traits for leaders, like minus alloys, for example. If I see that shit, I just can him, dude. I don't even let him stick around unless I've got a stupid amount of alloys. But like early game, if you get the alloy negative trait, just dismiss the leader. Don't even bother. As an example. So I think Jinxed, a lot of times you don't feel it, but sometimes you do. So. And ideally, you want negative traits that you don't feel the effects of at all. So let me check my chat now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and show the we'll go ahead and show the tier list now. That's what we have so far. Why are you not showing the whole screen? Okay, there we go. But yeah, so there you go. And that is all the ones that aren't grayed out. Okay. Now, it looks like everything that's the rest I don't really have DLC for, so I can't really make a good judgment on that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have plantoids. Yeah, I don't have plantoids. This is all DLC. This is all DLC stuff. Okay, so I can already tell that the Ascension Path traits are not included. So we will just go ahead and, you know, surprisingly, we didn't have anything in the derp tier today. So clap for that. All right, so this is our final tier list. And go ahead and look at it. So in the S tier, we have 2 negative traits. Solitary and Deviance. So that is now this is also biological. Let me see if we pick machine what happens. Appearance. Go with machine. And see what we come up with. Okay. All right, guys. This is definitely going to have to be a multi-parter tier list as well. Just like the civics. Because there's a lot of stuff here. A lot of different things. Okay. So we will continue You know, the next time we continue, we'll go ahead and do machine, and then we'll do hive. I'm pretty sure we can do hive as well. Let me go ahead and put on salt. I have to change my species. I want to check real quick here. Traits. Okay, that's gone. I do not think hive is any different. Okay, hive is no different. So we will do machine traits next. Okay. So we'll do machine traits next. And after that, we will look into the ascension paths if we get that far. Okay. Anyway, with that, guys, thanks for watching. Again, go ahead and check out that my latest video. Hopefully, no, it's going to be the first of many. Come hell or high water. Also, audio quality wasn't the best, but I mean, we've already discussed that. So anyway, guys, thanks for having me, and I'll see you next time.